Naveen sir, Kavalji, friends, colleagues. I recently attended a global summit and their experts like in this forum is responding have been debating what is the single biggest challenge in the health sector. There were issues raised around equity, access, primary health care, facility-based care, public-private partnership, innovations, technology. At the end of the day, the answer on which everyone seemed to agree was converting the knowledge we have into practices is the single biggest challenge. Root can be any. So friends, NIPI, which I represent under the umbrella of Norway India Partnership Initiative, where UNDP is one of the major partners, believes in walking the talks. We develop models of innovation. It provides catalytic, innovative, strategic support, which is sustainable. Innovation is in its design itself, for it is led by the state NRHM, debated by the technical committee of which Government of India is a member, and approved with the highest authorities of Norway and India. So, experiments are started, which are put into place for a couple of years. If successful, they are continued, otherwise they are discontinued. And to just give you a glimpse of our past illustrious history, we were the first one to take the experiment of home-based newborn care from culturally to the public health board, and it became country-wide phenomenon. In fact, it was major catalytic action in converting global WHO and UNICEF policy that essential newborn care can be delivered even by the community workers. Similarly, I was working in Bangladesh till a few years ago, and they used to look at our model of facility-based newborn care, SNCs. We started with a short experiment in 13 districts, including 3 in Rajasthan, with our partners, UNICEF, which implemented it in around 40 odd districts. And today, it has become an innovative model in the country in which we have 600 SSC, and believe me, this is the biggest facility-based investment in the public health sector any country has made. Continuing in that format, we have started the phase 2, and our partners are Jabaibu, which works in the area of pre-service education, but there is a sake. If you go to a new town, you start searching for it. But if you want to have a sustainable solution, you should plant trees. And the sustainable solution is pre-service education, what Jabaibu is targeting. We have another partner in Public Health Foundation of India, which is coming out with innovative technology. You must have heard the name of FasterGrade. It's a diagnostic tool which can be used with a mobile platform, and the results of 73 tests are available instantly. So we are all collaborating together, maternal health, newborn health, child health, and use of technology to complete the whole continuum of care. I was listening with a lot of interest. There are two kinds of opinion emerging in the market. One people saying focus on the public or only in the PSC. The other, I heard some people saying no, we should focus on the 10% where it's easier to do. Friends, we come with an evidence-based approach, and the evidence says you can't say one or the other. Both have to be complementary to each other, what is globally known as continuum of care. It has to extend the life cycle approach. It has to continue from community to the facility. There cannot be one way that you can do only community level and leave aside the facility level. Continuing in the same way, this is our playing area. In Rajasthan, we have 3 districts, while we are working in 4 states, Rajasthan, Bihar, Odisha, and MP, and we are getting to the population of almost 2 crores, with an underfed population of 27 lakhs. And in these populations, we try and develop innovation. Implementation is done by the state and RHM, and if they find it successful, they continue with it, otherwise either discontinue. Following the evidence-based approach of continuum of care, we had HPNC and SNCU approach in phase 1. Under phase 2, we have started HbA1c plus. And you may ask me what is HbA1c plus and SNC plus and extending it to the facility level care where improvement of quality of care for that seems to be the need of the hour. So we have extending our continuum from survival to development, from newborn to childhood, and from community to the facility level. Coming to the first innovation, HbA1c plus. There has to be a next. For one cannot just keep on doing something because it is worked. Problem statement when we started phase 2 in 2012 was, where is that India's newborn and child tax? We looked at that we have now 600 SSU, but our post-discharge SSU 100. And we heard Naveen saying in the morning today that they have started a voice SMS system. It is a step in that direction. For 10% of the children of the baby newborn discharged from the SSU died in the next. And majority of these deaths happen in the first month itself. So something needs to be done. We have seen the best of the experiments. I was trying to review the India's total literature. Nowhere have we shown that more than 25% of the cases referred from the periphery reach the SSU. It hasn't been increased so far over the last 60 years. If they can't cover us, what do we need? We need to go. And how do we go? Can we load Asha all the time? The answer was probably not. So we thought, this is the most vulnerable population, and let's take ANM with us, for they are federally good, they are in the health system for a longer time. The number is less than one newborn a month in a whole area, so she can provide care to such a person. And let's develop the protocols, what she needs to do, focusing on two special settings. Innovation is evidence-based, and that is AMC. Compliance with discharge instructions and detection of the diseases. Second, I remember I come from a medical background. When I was a student, I used to hear our ORS usage in the country. I'm talking about ADs. Used to be 27%. My colleague, CEO from NABH with us. And every year, whenever the Bible was asked, we used to simply just increase one and say, this is likely to be the ORS usage, and we used to be that. IME persons are here also. They will also understand that majority of the child health indicators in this country have increased very little or increased at a pace which is not acceptable, primarily being full immunization rate, ORS use rate, complementary feeding rate, exclusive breastfeeding rate, anemia and hand washing rate. In fact, breastfeeding rates have rather fallen. What needs to be done? We have been talking multiple things. Propaganda approach, promotional approach, posters approach, the multimedia approach, but that hasn't given us the desired results. Keeping these problems in our mind, we designed an innovation. Today, global policy is that essential newborn care can be provided by community workers for the first month of life by worker like Asha, and India has started it. We are now presenting a second hypothesis that these community workers, if they only implement the protect and the prevent interventions, they can play a significant part in reducing infant mortality. With that, we sat down with the technical people. We narrowed down on 7 interventions, which are all evidence-based, targeting growth monitoring, ORS increase use rate, complementary feeding rate, full immunization rate, and we added to it a newer phenomenon, and that is early child care and development, that is playing and communication. You may be wondering what is this. People have shown by evidence that early child care and development by the mothers lead to increase in IQ of at least 10%. And this WHO, it's not I'm saying, it's a WHO evidence which is speaking from multiple places. In India, we believe most of our mothers talk enough with their babies. No offense. There's only one study. World Bank has done studies in various parts of the world, and the majority of the developing countries, less than 40% of the mothers play adequately or play appropriately or counsel appropriately with their mothers, with their babies. KMC is one step in that direction. It extends beyond games. So we added these innovations and bundled them together with 4 structured visits, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. But the problem was we had immunization contacts with the health people. 1.5 months, 2.5 months, 3.5 months, 9 months. A long period delay between 3.5 months to 9 months. And this is the most crucial period for child survival and development. For diarrhea sex in majority of times, respiratory infection sex in majority of the time, you have to give nasal immunization, and most important, the cornerstone of nutrition, complementary feeding. So keeping these things in mind, we came up with a structured education program with some incentivization and an orientation program. We developed tools towards that. We developed the training packages with the capacity building. We have completed capacity building of almost 20,000 functionaries. We started the home visitation, provided social supervision, and this is in line with essential newborn action plan and global action plan for pneumonia and diarrhea. Whatever interventions they were suggesting, they have almost all. To track each and every child, we started a live-based information system, and today we have data of almost 2 lakh children, where we can see which families have amphibia, which child has received iron supplementation, which child has received prophylactic ORS. A small word about ORS, friends. The best place in the world which has increased maximum ORS coverage is Bangladesh. And I'm fortunate that I was a witness to that. BRACS did an experiment. They gave prophylactic ORS to every family. A week later, a supervisor went and asked for the knowledge of the mother how to prepare it. And that led to increase in ORS rate to beyond 65%. And that's the highest in the world. We are trying the same experiment, and we have almost got success. But India has now accepted it as one of the interventions to intensify diarrhea epidemics. We recently got an evaluation done, and 13 districts, you'll be surprised to know, we got it tested twice. 2014, we started this experimentation in 2013. 2014, we started with capacity building, and in the middle of the year, we started actual implementation. And with ASHA test program, which Naveen was mentioning, we linked the payment of the ASHA to that effect. 77% ORS intake at NDP, this is highest ever reported from India at any point of time. Iron supplementation, for which India had absolutely no data. There are lots of other issues around iron, the acceptability and the continuation and the storage of the iron, but we could achieve the coverage of almost 58.3%. 70% of the families have a mother-child protection card, and is being performed. Initiation of complementary feeding to the tune of 80%, and age-appropriate vaccination 70%. It's not full immunization. For full immunization, is likely to be much higher. So with these parameters in mind, we are greatly related to the success, and we share the information with the country. In last week in Shimla, I was with the Joint Secretary and with the other dignitaries, and they have accepted to extend this to 40% of the population, keeping initially the high-risk population, that is the low birth weight and children discharged of the vaccines. So country has already started sort of scaling it up. I am congratulating the Rajasthan MD, but he has been able successful that we got the approval for extending it to 10 more HPDs in Rajasthan, and will be there more than willing to provide all kinds of support for Rajasthan needs in this direction. The second innovation we started was extending the continuum of care from SSU to the community with the help of ANM and ASHA and what we call it SSU Plus, with 4 innovation packages actually did KFC, improving compliance and discharge instruction, promoting early child care and development, and promoting natural fertility science. Only data we have is from UNICEF, which reports 10% mortality. So far, the data which we have got from Rajasthan shows 1.9%. That means this is a doable task and can be achieved fast with results. We are still awaiting results of ongoing implementation before we go back to the country, whether they should extend it or not. But they have already taken the concept, and they have already instructed ASHAs to visit especially these cases, and they are being given SMS messages that they should go to the homes to provide essential information. Third thing which we have started is the resource-based approach for newborn has to be addressed. The quality of care has to improve for the newborn if country has to achieve an any child survival indices, and in that direction, what we have in the country are few resource centers, Delhi, Kolkata, Bombay, Pune, and some other places. These many centers cannot happen. Some states, progressive states, like I'll say Rajasthan, Bihar, MP, they have come up with a state resource center. But the quantum is so big that even one state resource center cannot do much. What is the need of that we take this to the district level? Second, people in the medical colleges in the state, they have limited time available in that. They cannot support the whole of the state. So we have come up with a concept, is it doable that you provide a resource center support and they provide mentoring to the sub-district facilities, and we have developed a structured checklist. So far, results are encouraging, but I cannot quantify in terms of number of lives. And the recent list, which we did a study based on WHO parameters, 16 indices, 18 quality standards, and did an assessment of the 13 district hospitals across 4 states. And what we got was that the biggest weakness is what public health experts say, 4th grade. There have been talks of PPP, 3P, and adding the 4P. The biggest thing which puts the public health program on the back foot is a trial that record from the community, reaches the facilities, reaches the line, but guides reported on the same. And that is what is happening in the majority of our hospitals. This has happened not only in district hospitals. I could see the same phenomena across hospitals, including hospitals. I know, I just one more minute, I'll stop short. So, emergency management in the facilities, especially for the pediatric care, has to improve. And the second biggest weakness we came across was there are multiple reports of HR shortage, infrastructure shortage, equipment unavailability, and non-lack of cleanliness. But we see that there are families and mothers which strong these facilities, and they are considered as leaders by the health providers. They rather, you hear everyday talks of strikes and other problems. We want to utilize them in a positive way. There's a saying that if you make your enemy as your best friend, probably you can win the battle. We are trying to say that we'll use these families. There's a concept known as family-centered care. We are trying to develop that concept across 5 district hospitals and see how much can we achieve. For many developed countries, it's not that it is only for the developing countries. Many developed countries across Norway, across America, they have started this concept of family-centered care. This is what I was referring, and we are starting this experimentation for the first time anywhere in the world. Emergency trial and treatment with the help of nurses. We are starting in Rajasthan in Alwar. We have already got the space selection from the state and society. We have got the manpower. We have developed the training package. We have conducted the first batch of the training within this year itself, and we have developed our monitoring indicators, and will come back to you in a year's time how much we could deliver. Family-centered care is an absolute novel concept where we will utilize the mothers in the care of the newborn, for which always we have shortage of attention. And if you see, half of the time of the doctor and nurses goes into routine care such as feeding, maintaining temperature, or even changing the nap. And this much work can be done by the mothers. The biggest advantage is these newborns, they remain vulnerable even after discharge. And I was hearing the CAT mentions this morning. Speaker after speaker was saying we need to do community empowerment. What is the best way to do community empowerment? With the babies in the facility itself, they do it, they learn it, and this is learning by doing. And when they go back, the mother feels back as confident, and I'm sure this is going to give the desired result. The advantage is we'll have a lake in the facility, we have a community-based program, and we can tell you exactly how much we could achieve. B for Brazil and B for Brazil. Why I say B for Brazil and B for Brazil have the maximum number of human living pets anywhere in the world. And in Government of India, we sent recently a delegation to Brazil. We started this experimentation from digital Kolkata. Recently, we got a similar center opened in Chennai. 2 days back, I visited. This was opened 3 months back, and they have already collected close to 100 liters of milk. And believe me, the cost of each liter of human milk cannot be paid even in life. For this has been one of the innovations which have helped countries increase their breastfeeding capital, and we know this is the Achilles heel in our capital planning, that we have not been able to increase breastfeeding rates. So we have to come out with innovative solutions, and hopefully, I was listening that there was a debate in the morning whether we should have PPP or it is PPP is not privatization. Similarly, what we want to say that Human Wealth Bank is not the only solution for this. It at least starts a debate in the country that how to improve the breastfeeding. When we started it, there were debates that country doesn't have Human Wealth Bank guidelines. So countries at least forced to think, and now there are talks that they will try and develop Human Wealth Bank guidelines. So friends, what we do, that we try and create evidences for achieving child development in the country, which can be done not only by India, but across the globe, which can influence the global policy. And I like to end by saying, घर से निकले थे मस्जिद जाने को, घर से निकले थे मस्जिद जाने को, मस्जिद तो दूर है, चलो मेरी रोते बच्चे को हटाया जाए। थैंक यू।